Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. I'm pleased to present a summary of the key concepts from chapter 1 to 4 of our educational psychology course. Today, we will briefly walk through the core ideas covered in these chapters, exploring how students think, feel and learn, and how teachers can effectively support diverse learners in real classroom environments. We will touch on major topics such as cognitive development, motivation, classroom management, assessment, and the role of cultural and individual differences in shaping learning experiences. These chapters highlight how an understanding of human growth, mental process, and social interaction can guide teachers in making informed decisions that enhance teaching strategies and students' engagement. Let's begin with the basics. What is educational psychology and why is it such an essential foundation for effective teaching and learning practices? By understanding its principles, educators can truly transform classrooms into spaces of growth, respect, and meaningful learning. Chapter number 1: Educational Psychology for Learning and Teaching. Educational psychology is the scientific study of how people learn and how teaching methods, classroom settings, and individual differences shape that learning process. It's not just theory, it's a practical guide for understanding students' needs and creating effective learning environments. In chapter number 1, we explored how this field helps teachers become reflective practitioners who continuously assess their teaching methods, adapt to students' needs, and strive for continuous improvement. Reflection encourages teachers to analyze what works and what does not, and while leading to more intentional and impactful instruction, we also examined three major psychological perspectives that guide educational practice: behaviorism, focus on observable actions, habits, and the role of reinforcement in shaping behavior; cognitivism, views learning as a process of internal mental activities such as memory, problem solving, and critical thinking; constructivism emphasizes that learners actively construct knowledge by connecting new information to the prior experiences. Each perspective offers unique strategies for instruction, from reward systems to scaffolding and hands-on exploration. Educational psychology serves as a bridge between theory and classroom practice, preparing teachers with research-based tools to meet the needs of diverse learners. It recognizes that every student learns differently and that effective teaching requires adapting methods to fit various learning styles, cultural backgrounds, and developmental stages. By applying these principles, teachers can foster not only academic achievement but also social, emotional, and personal growth in students. This holistic approach ensures that learning extends beyond textbooks, preparing students to thrive in real life situations. Now that we have introduced this foundation, we can move forward into the next key area: how students develop mentally, socially, and emotionally, and how this developmental process influence learning and classroom dynamics. This understanding is essential for creating perspective, inclusive, and engaging educational experiences. Emerging skills In chapter number 2, we explore developmental systems theory, a holistic framework describing how biological, cognitive, emotional, and social systems interact to shape the child's growth. Development is not linear but a dynamic process influenced by relationships, experiences, and context. This theory emphasizes three key principles: variability. Children develop at different rates due to factors like temperament, health, and environment. Relational influence. Strong sportive relationships promote confidence, exploration, and learning, while negative interaction can hamper progress. Context. Cultural, economic, and physical settings shape developmental outcomes, affecting access to resources and opportunities. We also examined developmental cascades, where progress in one area sparks growth in the others. A new skill, such as walking, can boost social engagement, language exposure, and emotional confidence. Recognizing these cascades helps educators design activities that support multiple developmental domains. Physical development progresses from infancy's rapid motor gains to refined skills in childhood and significant bodily changes in adolescence. Each stage affects participation, confidence, and learning. Motor and language development are closely linked. Movement enables exploration, which fosters vocabulary and communication skills. Intentional interaction, storytelling, and scaffolding further enhance language acquisition. Peer interaction supports pragmatic language skills through role play, turn taking, and collaborative problem solving. These real time adjustments teach tone, politeness, and empathy in the ways that structured trainings cannot. A holistic development approach views the child as an interconnected whole. A difficulty in one area, such as motor coordination, can impact self esteem, social relationships, and academic engagement. Supporting one domain can create positive ripple effect across others. In summary, developmental system theory teaches us that learning and growth emerge from the continuous interaction of multiple systems. By understanding and supporting these connections, educators can foster healthier, more inclusive development for every child. Now that we have introduced these developmental processes, we can move forward into the next key area of cognitive development. This chapter covered how thinking and learning abilities change across childhood and adolescence. We studied Jean Piaget's 4 stages of cognitive development. In the sensory motor stage, 0 to 2 years, infants learn through direct sensory experiences and motor actions, gradually developing objects' permanence. The pre-operational stage, 2 to 7 years, introduces symbolic thinking, such as using words and images to represent the object, yet logical reasoning remains limited. In the concrete operational stage, 7 to 12 years, children begin to think logically about concrete events, understand cause and effect, and grasp concepts like conservation. Finally, the formal operation stage, 12 plus years, allows for abstract thinking, hypothetical reasoning, and systematic problem solving. We also examined Lev Vygotsky's sociocultural theory, which highlights the role of social interaction in learning. Central to his theory of zone of proximal development, the range between what a learner can do independently and what they can achieve with guidance. Learning is most effective when activities are within this zone. From the zone of proximal development comes the teaching strategy of scaffolding, where teachers or peers provide structured support through modeling or questioning until the learner can perform the task independently. As competence grows, the support is gradually removed. Both Piaget and Vygotsky's theories remind educators that cognitive growth is shaped by developmental readiness, experience, and social context. Effective teaching requires matching tasks to a student's current stage while also stretching their abilities through guided challenge. By applying these insights, teacher can better foster critical thinking, problem solving, and intellectual curiosity in learners. From thinking to feeling, let's now understand how students develop socially, emotionally, and morally. Social, emotional, and moral development. In chapter number 4, we explored how students develop their sense of self, manage emotions, and form moral values, all of which shape behavior, relationships, and learning. Self-concept refers to how students see their abilities, appearance, and worth. A strong positive self-concept supports confidence, motivation, and persistence, while a negative one can lead a self-doubt and withdrawal. Teachers can strengthen self-concept by recognizing individual strengths and offering constructive feedback. We also examined Kohlberg's stage of moral development, which describes the progression from obedience and avoidance of punishment to understand social rules and eventually to advance ethical reasoning based on personal principles. Knowing these stages helps teacher guide age-appropriate moral discussions. Empathy and emotional regulation are equally critical. Empathy enables students to connect with others' feelings, while emotional regulations help them manage frustration, resolve conflicts, and respond calmly to challenges. Both skills are essential for building respectful cooperative relationships. Teachers influence this growth by modeling empathy, encouraging respectful communication, and creating emotionally safe learning environments. When students feel understood and valued, they are more engaged, cooperative, and open to learning. By supporting social, emotional, and moral development, educators prepare students not just for academic success but for empathetic and responsible participation in the society. To summarize, we explored key ideas in the educational psychology and their relevance to teaching and growth. We examined its importance, bridging research and practice, and how students develop cognitively, emotionally, and socially. We considered behavior, motivation, and diversity shaping learning. Each chapter deepens understanding offering tools for thoughtful educators, counselors, or researchers. This summary highlights practical applications, encourages reflection, and inspires continuous learning. Until next time, stay curious, keep growing, and keep inspiring others. Assalamu alaikum and goodbye.